All right, welcome to the Pacer Chat on what's today's date? April 24th. Hang on. All right, there we go. I forgot I had YouTube up, so we were pulling up that. So we got Marty and Bobby Joe joining us tonight, and Coach Brian. We're actually just kidding. So Bobby Joe is at a concert tonight over in Orlando. I think it's the Hanson Comeback band tour. So I don't know. She's probably a band we never heard of. And Marty's niece is getting married, so she is. They have the rehearsal dinner tonight. So we instead have with us tonight. We got Scott Hoover I'm trying to change his name. Scott, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I don't know. I put on races and I run a
us?
lot. Yeah, I hear you.
I mute you.
I'm talking. Can you hear me?
Katie, can you talk? See if we got you.
Can you hear me?
Lose on my sound?
I think you're the problem.
I think it's just Jeff. We can all hear
you.
you.
Yeah.
We're all good.
No.
So what is it that you do, Scott?
The problem. I don't know what's going on here.
Scott, what do you do?
I'm not.
I host a few races. Yeah, he's still talking.
So why am I not having any? There we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right.
You're the problem.
I was the problem. Sorry about that. I don't know why. It changed. So, did Scott have anything good to say?
You were talking over me.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's all good, brother.
Scott of Ultra, race director, coach, runner, puts on a couple races in the state of Florida. This weekend they were out at Funest 50K. And then we got Katie. Katie, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, okay. I live in South Florida and I run a lot of races and I'm mostly just stubborn and stupid.
When did you run your first ultra?
Oh gosh, my first ultra was July of last year. It was the Vero Beach Octopus Ultra 50K.
50K.
So that was my first ultra.
Yeah.
Last year,
yeah.
Yeah, we call her the Luke Vidal or Arian, the female version, because she's running almost every weekend, running a race every weekend. So she's keeping her schedule busy, which is
Are
great.
you running Saturday?
No, I was going to, but it's not a good weekend. So I can't.
Yes, you should rest. Last week was rough.
Oh, yeah.
Now, have you run your first 100 yet?
Yeah, I did. I ran Hungryland.
She was in Hungryland.
Okay.
And that isn't easy.
Would you say it was easy? Yeah, you both ran.
No, I said it's not easy.
Oh, it was easy. Yeah, you both ran it.
Scott zoomed by me a few times. I was like, oh, hey.
And then joining us from Colorado on the back range. What do you call it? The west range?
Western slope.
The Western Slope is Coach Brian. Amazing ultra runner, coach, podcaster, aid station connoisseur.
Man, I can run the shit out of an aid station.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit later on. So Brian's a great friend I met a few years ago when I was running the Grand Slam. Met him out at Leadville. And actually, we're going to talk about a little bit later on. He's running the Grand Slam this year and some other cool things. He's going after his 10th Leadville, which is awesome, pretty awesome out there. And he has a podcast, Buckle Up. And you're running solo now.
No, I got I can't even remember that guy's name that I had on the show before, but I got a new host. We recorded 2 episodes already. One came out this morning, and I recorded one this afternoon as well. So for next week.
That was the one with Salty Britches.
Salty Britches today. And Mandy Mullen is my new co-host. She is from runwindsorco.com. Windsor, Colorado, Northern Colorado by Fort Collins. She's a race director, coach, all the things. Yeah.
Oh, pretty cool. Pretty cool. And then, so we're going to start with Funest 50K. But before we start, Scott, I pulled this video off of your Facebook, and I think this is a video that highlights everyone in the race. Did all the races start at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay, so this one highlights everyone in your race because I figured you videotaped it within the first half mile.
I don't know what video it is.
Good luck. Good luck. Take it easy. Good luck, guys. This is the easy part. Enjoy the easy part.
Thank you.
Hurry up. Enjoy this easy part.
Yeah, thanks.
All right.
So that was like about, I don't know, not even a 1/10 of a mile in. That is. That's
I figured it had to be right away because everybody's in there.
yeah, that's just the first corner. That was James's video, not mine.
Yeah, well, either way,
But
I
anyway,
mean, it's
it doesn't-
your race.
Yeah, so it's a 10K loop. It's a 10K loop, and then you can do the 10K, or 30K, or 50K. One loop, 3 loops, or 5 loops. I recommend one loop. A lot of people want to do 5. They do. They get beat up.
Well, Katie, you did the 50K. How was the explain the course because it's we had video out there. We live streamed for about an hour and a half, and Bobby Joe was out on the course. It was interesting. Tell us about the course.
Yeah, so that whole first part you just saw, that's it for that. And then you just basically go it's a mountain bike course, and it's basically like single track, and it's I mean, I think Scott said it's like a roller coaster. You're just constantly up and down and up and down, and there's water and you're on ledges, and it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. Alligators, lots of things to look at and to get distracted by. So many routes. Oh my God, so many routes and rocks and things to trip and fall over. But yeah, you're constantly either you're going up or you're going down at some point, so and then they're just like the wooden kind of fixture things. I think you guys had a video of it where you run up and down, and it's beautiful out there though, and it provides some shading, so it got hot, but you're not fully exposed at all times, so that was good. But yeah, it was an interesting time for sure. Yeah,
it's as close of a mountain race you're gonna get in Florida. I mean,
Brian,
you're not gonna get any closer, and it's probably about the only thing you're gonna find in Florida like that.
You just casually brushed over alligators, right? You said alligators in there?
Oh, they're everywhere out there.
Oh yeah.
You just glazed right over that like it was part of the deal.
Oh yeah,
Brian, when you cross over the state border, they're there waiting for you. You get the alligators there.
Well, there's probably a reason I ever crossed over the state border. I mean, it's probably the main reason, right? I haven't been to Florida. Actually, I've never been to Florida.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You should come on down.
Yeah, just don't fall in the water.
Well, not if the alligators are waiting at the state line for me. I'm good. I'm good.
Listen, alligators don't bother you. So you'll see them. You'll run right by them. They most of the time will not even move unless you're walking with a small dog. They don't even care. and that they don't want to be bobothered.
All right. I'm just saying it was pretty nonchalant. You just glazed right through it.
We've seen a lot of them, so
Okay, all right. You've been desensitized, right?
yeah.
Out at Long Haul, there was a big gator on one of the banks, and you could see you saw it as you went by, and you could tell the people that were from Florida and the people that weren't from Florida. Like the Florida runners just blew right past it, didn't even care. Everyone else was taking pictures.
Oh wow!
And we're like, yeah, big difference.
Dude, if you're at a place that doesn't have a gator, it's probably too civilized. It's not enough wild for me.
They actually, growing up in Florida, they taught us in school how to run away from an alligator. You just run zigzag because the alligator can't run side to side. But what they didn't realize, the alligator would eventually catch you on one of your zigzags, on the zag side of the zig. On the zag side. Never had to use it. That's one thing in school I never had to use. Kind of disappointed. So, but you basically it was on a mountain bike course. So there was so in Florida they'll mine for phosphate, and they'll dig these huge holes which eventually turn into ponds, but all that soil gets piled up, and what they figured is these turn into great mountain bike trails. So they'll go out there and build these huge mountain bike trails. We got a bunch of them in our area out there in Lakeland, Alafaya, all over, and they're great trails.
But this Loyce Hart Park, where this is at, those Ridge Rider guys, they've carved like 20 something miles out, and not one trail is more than maybe a half a mile each feature. You know, they're all like little out and backs on little like peninsulas or little islands. It's pretty crazy out there. And the backstory on that race is that was the first trail race I ever run. It was one of those. Way back, it was I can't remember the guy. He did like superhero races, like Mad Hatter, and his name was Nate. It was groundhog events, and he had a trail race out there. It was like 3 mile. They had a 5K, a 10K, and like a 3 hour or something. And as soon as I run that, I was like, oh, I feel like I'm a kid again out there. You know, it's just crazy. It's like being in a playground. And I said, I want to do a race here, and so that's why I decided to host a race there. It's just so fun and hard. Now the 50K is kind of, I don't know. I haven't done it yet, and I tried a couple times, and every time I'm like, nah, I'm good at 3 laps.
And you had a good race in the 50K, so
yes.
We'll show results. You had 2. Was it Mike Musso was making his comeback off of becoming after he was injured? Correct.
He wasn't injured. He just took a break. After he had work, you know, in life. He had to deal with life. Yeah. And then he did that SummerSlam, the South Florida SummerSlam, the Trident, and all that, whatever it is. And the South Florida SummerSlam, and that whooped you, and that was his first 100, so he took a pretty big break, but now he's come back strong, but been running the roads a lot. Those trails, used to him. He's fast.
TikTok for the first time, and I had no clue who he was, and he basically abused me and Kalo.
He's.
I kept thinking I was in second because I had no clue who he was, and we were on the same loop the whole time. That he never passed me, I never saw him, and then finally you told me towards the end, and you're like, you're in third. I'm like, I thought I was in second. I thought Kalo was first. I was second. And you're like, no. So so it's good to see him out there. So
and then John's in there, and John's one of the toughest guys around, and he's fast.
Yeah, John's here. I felt bad. If you look at the live stream, I spelled his name wrong for like the first 10 minutes, and then I pulled up the entry list. I'm like, ooh, let's change it a little bit. So John Keir, he was third at Long Haul. He was out there racing. Great runner from down in Cape Coral area.
Yeah, he run Peace River 50K too, and I think he run like 4:08, and that's pretty quick for that trail.
What did John run it? John Mott run it in?
I think he was 3:45 or something.
Yeah, and he's an Olympic. He's Olympic marathon. He went to Olympic marathon trials. So
he never ran a trail race ever, and come in there and just kind of jog through it.
All right, so let's show the results on the 50K. I love I put these results up and then I can't even see them, but luckily I got it on the computer over here. So yeah, Jonathan Kier, and he didn't pull into first until I think the start of the third loop. We actually had it on camera.
Third loop. Yeah, the second loop they were the third loop I think they were together when they left, and then the fourth loop John was ahead, and then the fifth loop he was definitely ahead.
Yeah, and then you got Mike Musso, and then so John won by 7 minutes. Then Mike Musso, Justin Boyle. Oh, Justin, I know Justin.
Yeah, Justin's one of my buddies. I coached him for a while. He just started running about a year ago, and this is like his third Oscar.
Yeah,
he's a no carb kind of guy too.
Yep. I was running with Luke Vidal, and Luke invited him out, so it was cool. And then I saw him out at Save the Daylight. Yeah. So Justin got second. Angel Garcia, he was running in third, so it looked like Justin passed him late in the race. Alberts is in there. Walter Watts, Wally, a few other runners, and down the female side, I think was Amanda Richmond. She pretty much was she leading through most of the race.
Yeah, I think she led the whole race.
Yeah, so Amanda Richmond won it for the women. Shauna Bannon, she's new, isn't she new to the ultra scene?
She's been around about a year. She's at most races, and she does well, and she's getting better and better. She just did her first 100.
Did she do long haul?
No,
I think she did. Did she not?
No, I don't think she did long haul.
Yeah, she did long haul.
Okay, maybe.
Okay, yeah, because she was set up right next to me. Yeah, I was right next to it, and Katie was right there too.
Yes.
And so so she was second, and then Sarah Raymaker, and then Katie was fourth, but our Masters winner.
Katie was also the winner of the Dirt the Most award too.
The biggest hot mess. Yeah.
Every lap she come through, she was bleeding more and more. I'm like, boy, but she was smiling the whole time.
Did you have some falls out there?
Oh, so many. Oh my gosh. I'm usually really good at falling, but I got wrecked. Literally my only goal last loop was not to fall.
You had Britta behind you. So Britta was pretty close to you. She was about 4 minutes behind you. Did you know she was right behind you?
No, I was just trying not to fall.
That's what that course you got to pay attention, man. You ain't got time to worry about pain. You just got to worry about not eating it. It's pretty technical. You got a couple spots. Did
the guys break the course record?
Oh yeah, both Mike and John broke it in pieces.
Okay, so the old course record was 5:03. Jonathan went 4:43, and Mike went 4:50.
Yeah, now 4:43 out there is it's ridiculous. I mean, I don't know how he did that, to be honest. Because some of that you can't run. You can't really run it.
Yeah. Well, congrats to them. On the 30K side, what do you have? Mike Lukens, he won. Isaac Wright out of St. Pete was second, and John Reed was third, and Nate Bailey was in there fourth. Female side, Ashley Daltrey was first.
Yep.
Lisa Snyder and Don Lisby, another coach, another race director out of Jacksonville area, or
like Palm Coast. Flaglers up that area. Flagler.
Yeah. Who else was in there? Nicole was in there. Nicole K, who's in the chat. She was out there. We had a good race. Who else? Nicole Armbooster was out there. So congrats to everyone in the 30K, 10K. So I guess if you won the 10K, you had to go cook on the grill. Is that correct, Scott?
Yeah, well, something like that. Well, Christian, I started coaching. I mean, he just run like the week before last. We were at a race, and it was a 10K, a road 10K, and he came like 30 seconds in front of me, and it was his first race ever. He did like 800s in high school. He was a sprinter, and then I invited him out to Funest, and I told him, I said, do not pass Mike Musso. I said, just stay behind him. And the first 3 miles, he was just like right a foot behind Musso, and Musso thought it was John. So I don't know if Christian was pushing Mike a little bit, but once they hit the hard road, there's about a quarter mile flat road you can run. And then I seen Christian. I said, "How you feeling?" And he's like, "I'm fine." I said, "Go then." And he ran like 650s the rest of the way. It was
Yeah.
crazy. But he's never run a trail either. But he's like super fast. And like I started coaching him the other day, and he was running like I've never seen anybody run that fast. I had him
Would
do
you
30-second sprints. He was like doing 2-minute pace. I'm like, what?
He just beat you in a 10K, right? Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
And he was just pacing with me. He was just staying ahead of me. He wasn't even trying. He just wanted to beat me. But that kid's
Well,
gonna be something because he said I'm gonna start training him he wants to do the 6-hour TikTok, and he said he wants to do 50 miles. I think he can do it because he's really fast. He's probably like a 35, 36-minute 10K when he's trained
yeah.
up.
So,
And
so he
then
won it.
Arian was right behind him, and Arian
Yeah.
almost got him. He tried, but he said he
It
didn't.
was
He looked red.
about a little less than 2 minutes.
Yeah, he wasn't that far behind him. Well, like I said, I think Christian held back the first 3 miles because I told him to take it easy to get the course
Okay.
because he had no idea what he was getting into. He's only run track. And then we put him on that course.
And then on the female side, Tessa Taylor won the race.
Tessa's
Martha.
won this race every year we had at the 10K. She's a
really?
coach. She's a high school coach, and she's pretty fast. She was actually in the Masters USA team a month ago.
Okay. Okay.
Your track team. She's awesome.
Craig Betts, he's on there.
Is it? Yeah. Well, he was sick, so he dropped. He was supposed to do 3 laps. He only did 1.
He had the Egyptian flu.
Yeah, he did.
And your wife ran the race.
Hmm? Yeah,
Your wife ran the race.
Yeah, she was with her friends. They just kind of walked it in the back.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah, no,
All
it's a
right.
cool race. It's fun.
Yeah, I think these are the winners right here. You got Jonathan in the black and Mike with the shirt off, and is that Mike with the shirt off?
Yeah, that's Mike Albertson, Arian, and me and John.
Oh, that's Mike Alberts. I'm thinking Mike.
No.
Okay.
No, Mike Musso. That's Mike Albertson, Arian, and John, and me.
Yeah. How did Alberts look out there?
He looked good. He was steady. He went and did that whole race no carbs too. So I had 2 people do no carbs on it. He just went out there and had fun, took pictures. I think he had 7 hours. He wasn't like trying to. He's still starting to train, I guess. He just got back at it.
Cool. So Bobby Joe is watching Mayday Parade.
She's
You're so jealous, huh?
I'm so jealous right now. It was on my events list on Facebook. Oh man, I couldn't.
I have no clue who that is.
Such a good band. Oh my god.
I've heard of them, but I don't.
Oh, so good. So good.
So I guess there's a couple opening acts, so she may be watching right now. Wait for that. So she's over in Orlando at House of Blues.
Hey, Bobby Joe.
Yeah. All right. Anybody watch Boston Marathon?
I didn't watch it, but I had a couple friends in it.
Yeah. Oh, you did have someone you coach was up there running?
Me?
I saw you post on that.
No, I don't coach him. He's just like, he's the first guy I ever met in running.
Oh, okay.
And he lived around the corner. He's 65, but he ran like a 350. He crushed it. He did exactly what he planned.
Yeah. So
he did well. He did real good. And then there's a couple other people from Florida that were in it.
Yeah, I had all the guys I trained with. They ran.
How'd they do?
So what did they have? So
Nice.
2 guys. They weren't running together. John Templeton and Keith Lynch, and they were 39 seconds apart. Their splits were identical, and they started about 5-6 minutes apart. So
wow, that's crazy.
It would have been fun to see him go toe to toe. Vince Carter, you know Vince. He's been tearing it up. on the trail scene. So he ran a 251, and then one of our other guys, Greg, he ran a 304. So
They're quick.
Greg's,
That's fast times.
yeah. So they all ran. They trained really well. I didn't even see him this whole spring because they were doing marathon training, and I was not.
I like to walk.
Yeah.
I'm like waddling all the time.
So I'm trying to get them all go up to Moon Over Crew coming up June 7th. So they do like doing those race. The trail race is a short one. So I think Vince won the 22 last year, and I think John's won the 14 one year. So it'd be cool to get them up on those. So basically, I'm Boston. What happened? So the men, was it? I usually watch the race. I didn't watch the replay of the race. So the guy that won looked like he tripped right off of the start, and then was able. Yeah, and then he was able to come back.
I watched that dude slide. I'm like, man, his knees were burning that whole race.
Yeah, Sister Man. Yeah, what is it? John. I kept getting him. I'm like, I'm going to say the wrong name. John Career. Yeah, so he ran well. 2:04:45. I really would like to go back and run it because I like following Connor Mance. I think he's a fun American to watch, and he was fourth with a 2:05, which was impressive. And Clayton Young, those two guys train together, so those are big American hopes on those two guys. On the women's side, the course record was broken.
Yeah, she broke the record.
Yeah, so she broke the course record.
Like 2:17. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, and then on the American side, I think who was our first American?
7 is Jess McLean.
Yeah, Jess McLean. So,
Sharon broke the record at 2:17. I think 2 and 3 went under the record as well. I'm not sure if they each get 50 grand for going under the record. But the winner won 150, and then she got an additional 50 bonus. So she made 200 grand by winning Boston with a new course record.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's a pretty nice payday.
That's definitely a nice payday. So, and the guys, I think there were a few, like 2 minutes off on that. But they're saying the guy that won, John Career, he looks like he's the new marathon hopeful. After what's his name died in a car crash. So, and Kipchoge is basically getting older. We're waiting for him to jump into the ultras because that's usually what you do, right? So, all right. So that's Funest. That's Boston, and we can preview Skunk Ape. So we got the Skunk Ape 100 coming up in Ocala, Florida. They got 100-mile and 50-mile. That's kind of one of our big local races. Joseph Fuller is the race director. He does the Tampa Bay 100 when we live stream that. So he's the same race director. This one's just on Real Trail, and it's part of a lot of the trails, part of the Cross Florida trail system on the Ocala section. So I think it's out and back. So a double out and back
for the 100, yeah. The 50s and out and back. Yeah. And the 100s are two out and backs.
This is the second year of it. I believe so. Yep.
I was out there last year.
Did you run it last year, or did you were out there?
No, I was just crewing, and I think I was crewing, and I paced Luke like the last 50K, I think.
They have that. I'm trying to see what the course record is. It's all kind of screwed up on how it shows up on Ultra Sign Up, but it looks like it's 22:36:20.
Yeah, it's some guy from somewhere.
Yeah, Yambin.
It wasn't nobody. Yeah, I've never heard of him.
Yeah, and then I think Lucas Vidal's in there with 23:14. I think he has the third fastest time.
Luke was third, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, and Brennan Hurstman was second last year. This year, I don't know. Who do you think? Who's in it this year for? Well, you said Shay's
So he's
little
running it. Yeah, we'll see. He said he's feeling better. He had some
Okay.
kind of heel issue, but I talked to him the other day. He said he's going to go for it. We'll see what happens. I mean, if he holds up, obviously he's probably going to win. Sorry.
Jordan's another contender.
Yeah, but if Shea holds the guy, I mean, Shea wins.
Evan Rosette's fast too.
Who's that?
Evan Rosette.
Never heard of him.
He's a young
Yeah.
guy.
He's
Young
from
guy.
Lithia, Florida.
He's fast.
He has 5 ultras.
Has he ever done 100?
I will tell you in a
I don't
second. He
I'm
has
on my
done-
phone, so
He did Tampa Bay in 24. Yeah.
what was
He
this?
did.
24?
Yeah, he did Tampa Bay in 24, 33 hours, 29 minutes. Pinellas Trail Challenge last year, 10:55. He's in Pinellas Trail this year. Keys looked like he may have DNF Keys in 2024.
Well, you never know. I mean, those rankings are what they are, but if he trained that good, he might show up out there and run an 18 hour. You never know.
And then I'm pacing Joe Miller
Miller
out there. Young Joe Miller. There's two Joe Millers.
When are you going to pace him? Do you know?
I'm gonna try and shoot to be up there by 3:00 because I want to get some filming in at some of the aid stations. So I figured I might jump in like around 6 or 7, just depending on where I can drop the car and get back to it. So it might, like if I drop it at Ross Prairie, I can run the section out to Pruitt and back. I don't know. I'll have to figure out logistics. So that's why I'm hoping that if you're out there, you can help shuttle cars around.
Oh, that's what it is. You want me to be your valet?
Well, I also want you to cook me steak out there too. I want someone to hang out with out there.
The only problem is, man, it's like a 3-hour drive there. I'm so tired of driving. Man, I've drove and flew, and I ain't slept in 3 days. I've been all over the country.
I didn't realize Andy Matthews is running out there.
Is he running?
Yeah, Andy's running.
Nice.
So, and then there's a runner I want to talk about, but we'll go to the 50-miler first. So this will be impressive. So you got Katie Hoover running the 50-miler. Katie Hoover has the course record at Pinellas Trail. So she's a very fast runner. She broke the course record last year in 2024. The record had been there for a while. You got Jamie Saunders out there. I think it's going to be a fun female race to watch out there.
That's a 50, right?
This is a 50, yeah.
That's going to be a good race.
Yeah, I don't know. On the male side, I know you got Daniel Alvarez. He's another good runner. I see him he's in the original SummerSlam series every year. He always does really well. He's out of Tampa. I'm trying to think who else is in.
I thought about it. I'm still kind of thinking about it.
So you got Lawton Cox out there, and I didn't know that name until he was on Where's the Finish podcast this week, and so he was talking about running the 50 miles. So it'll be cool to see him out there. He's my age. There's another Miller out there. So that's cool. All right, so there's a guy on the 100-mile. We met him out at Bootlegger a couple weeks ago. Gary Dutney. He's 72 years old, out of North Carolina. So here's what's impressive about Gary is I got a lot of cool stuff on him. But this will be his 100th 100-mile race at Skunk Ape. So we were, when we were doing the live stream out at Bootlegger, we were running him in, and he was talking about it, and he's like, yeah, I'm doing my 100th 100-miler next month in Florida. We're like, oh, where are you going? He's like, Skunk Ape. And we're like, really? And so we were all excited about that because a lot of us were going to be out there. So he's 72 years old. Gary ran his first ultra in 1993 at Quicksilver. His first 100 was Angel's Crest in 1997. He ran Western States in 2001, 2003, 2015. He also did Eastern States the same year in 2015. So he ran both of those back to back. Brian, he ran Leadville in 2004. Were you out there?
Not that year.
Not that year. He ran Javelina in 2004. So I was curious if this was like one of the first years of Javelina. It was actually the second year of Javelina, which was pretty impressive. Ran long haul in 2019. And then I was like marking all the races I ran with him. So I ran long haul with him in 2019, Rim to River in 2020, and Burning River in 2018. So Gary's out there at 72 years old. He will be running his 100 mile race. So I made sure Joseph Fuller knows that. So it'll be cool. I'm going to try and find him out there on the course. It'll be exciting.
Awesome.
The guy's a beast, man.
What's his name again?
Gary Dudney.
Gary. Go Gary.
Go
Awesome.
Gary, yeah. Gary's going to have a great race out there. So that's Skunk Ape. It'll be fun to be out there. A lot of people we know running aid stations. Old Joe Miller's course marshal. So make sure you guys don't cut because he will DQ you. I believe his podcast, Words Finished, they'll be doing the Pruitt aid station at the turnaround. So it'll be cool to see those guys and a bunch of other people out there. And
That's a sweet trail.
Yeah, Scotty's cooking steak out there for us.
Steak for everyone.
I asked Joe Miller, I said, on my way up, what can I grab you? He's like, Chipotle. I'm like, all right, I'll find you Chipotle.
I'll be at mile marker 40.
40.
Because there is none.
There's no mile 40.
It's 25 and then you turn around.
Other races this weekend, you got the Badwater Salton Sea, and I'm only bringing that up because Greg Lawson will be out there running that race. I think.
Is he running it?
Yeah, I think he's in the 80 miler. And then
he was feeling better.
Yeah, I hope he. And then I'll see him out at what's that big race? Cocodona. So I'll meet up with him out at Cocodona first weekend in May. So.
Yeah, shout out to Greg. He was at the aid station at Funest for, I don't know, 6 hours or something.
It's funny, every time we go out to a race, Greg's always there.
It doesn't matter. It could be in Japan and Greg's going to be down there somewhere. Go to Mexico, Canada, Greg will be there.
Yeah. So good luck to Greg this weekend. Other big race we have coming up this weekend is the Canyons by UTMB. That is out in California. I think it's they got a 100 miler, but the big races are the 100K, which is a golden ticket race. 3 tickets on the line. So that's impressive. So you got a lot of guys lining up at that. But the 50K has a pretty crazy lineup too. So the 50K and 100K are the big races. 100 miler, I don't think they really care about that race. They had the elite race, and there was like one person on the female side in the 100 mile race and 2 people on the male side for that. So great. That race is almost the last part of the Western States race. So I believe, I don't know where you start. You start a little farther out and work your way back towards Auburn. You do go through Michigan Bluff. You go through Forest Hill. So they used to run it in the reverse way, and you had a lot of climbing. Now you run it in the opposite way back to Auburn, and you have climbing in the beginning, but you have a little bit more downhill. So on the women's side. I always got to have this up so I can see it, because I can't see it on. There it is. So you got a pretty good lineup. Emily Hallgood, Marianne Hogan, Keely Henninger, Alyssa McDonald. So it's going to be a pretty tight race. I really don't know who I would pick on that. Brian, you have anybody you would pick on that list?
I don't. Yeah, I like Anna Loudon.
Is she?
Brooks.
Oh, she might.
She's
Oh,
Brooks.
yeah. For Brooks Trail. So, a lot of people were picking her. They thought she would have a good race. Some people were picking Marianne Hogan. What's impressive is on this race. So last year, was it Katie Scheid? So she won this race, turned around, went to Western States and won Western States. So, but Katie Scheid ran a great race, set the course record last year. So they don't think anybody's going to be contending for the course record this year because she was pretty close to the guys.
I swore I just saw that there's like a weather warning. They're requiring cold weather gear. There's like a big storm moving in. And
Simon just posted that. So I guess so the weather could play a big factor in that race. Yes, they do.
That might lean towards the Canadians. Maybe the Canadians will fare better in the colder weather.
On the male side, you got some big names like Rod Farvard, Anthony Costales, Eric LaPluma, Hans Troyer. A lot of people saying the favorite was the guy from Italy, Francisco Pupi, but they're saying he probably wouldn't take the Western States ticket if he did get it. And Rod's already in. I don't think Anthony's not. Anthony was there a couple years ago. So it'd be interesting who would take how far the tickets would go down in that race. So good names on there. I think Rod and Francesco trained together. I think Rod was supposed to run the 50 and jumped up to the 100. So it'll be he's running he ran well last year. Then on the 50K women's, this will be a track race here. It was got to wait a second for it to pop up. Heather Jackson, Tabor Hemming. She's won the last two races she has raced against. She won Big Alta, and she won what was 2 weeks ago the other big race. Not Gorgeous. Did she win Gorgeous? No, there was another race she just won too. So she's running really good, and her husband is running the 50K, Eli, and he's running well too. But yeah, Eli in the 50K, Hayden Hawks, Seth Ruling, Matt Daniels. I mean, that's a pretty good lineup there coming into the 50K. So it'd be fun to see that. I think Seth is he's running Western States. I don't know who else on that list is running. I think he was one of the top guys at Black Canyon 100K. So those guys I think a lot of them are just trying to get some course preview of the Western States course. So they were talking about there's a lot of poison oak out on that course. And you figured they would have cut it down, but I guess there's a lot. They were talking about how that could not play into the race, but play into the recovery from the race.
Hey, question on that: if you run the Black Canyon this year, you would enter the lottery in November, or would it be next year?
Nope,
So
you'll get into the you'll enter the lottery in November for the lottery in December.
For 26. Okay.
Yes, so you got your Western States qualifier at Black Canyon.
Yeah.
So, that's why I usually like to either do long haul or Black Canyon, either or, to knock out that Western States qualifier in January, February, so I don't have to worry about it for the rest of the year. So
yeah,
I got long haul this year. I'll go to.
It's early. It's real early. That's why I was saying.
No, you're good. You're good. Actually, what race were they talking about? The canyons? Yeah. So the canyon. Yeah. Never mind. that's something different. So
I was looking at that. That looks like a fun race. I was checking
Canyons?
it out. Yeah.
I'm still Brian. What's your opinion on running a UTMB race?
Well, I don't know. I'm not talking about them. I'm just saying the course.
I just actually volunteered at a UTMB race this past weekend. Maybe it's not this past weekend. I don't know. I don't even know what today's date is. Maybe it was 12 days ago. But
yeah, you did it on your way back from Arizona Monster.
yeah, it's all a blur. It's all a blur. But I course swept 13 miles of it. You know, I mean, they're here. They're sticking around. They put on a good event. It seemed like everyone had fun. It was organized.
Just corporate.
There was a shit ton of those Hoka thingies, the floaty things or the big air things with the lights in them, you know?
Yeah.
But other than that, if you could get over the big Hoka floaty things, you know, it was just a normal race. It wasn't too bad. I'd do it.
They got those at Black Canyon, and you think you're getting close, but they start about 2 miles out.
Yeah. There's hundreds of them. That's the other thing. There's hundreds of them. So
they're everywhere, right?
Yeah. They're everywhere.
It makes it look bigger.
Yeah. So
that's why I said, put more tents up. Just make it look big.
It's good for B-roll with the drone. When the drone flies over, it's good for B-roll footage to get all the air floaty things, the big balloons.
Yeah. So it would. I mean, I'm not against it. I guess I'm up in the air on whether. I mean, I definitely want to do one because I do want to go to UTMB eventually. So.
I mean, most races are kind of anyway. So when I'm in a race, I'm bringing what I need myself with me.
Yeah.
You can't really depend on them.
So it's interesting. Like Hard Rock did away with all UTMB qualifying races. So they don't have any on there.
Really?
Yep. So like Grindstone was they took away Grindstone because that's UTMB. I don't think there's any other on there. I don't mind. I just don't like Western States using so many of them as golden ticket races. I think I would like to see more non-UTMB races as like I like, Javelina, even Javelina. I think they should go out to some other, instead of the big race, Javelina is almost turning into a corporate type race, but it's homegrown. So it was grown from nothing. But they took away what's the one in Texas? I'm looking at the Bandera. So that was
Bandera,
smaller. But it'll be fun. I think they took away Gorges too. I think Gorges was a golden ticket race. I'd love to see Gorges come back or Big Alta. It'll be interesting to see what happens with our sport. But eventually, as it grows, you have the big corporations coming in. So it'll be interesting. So I think it was like a year ago when I picked my kid up from school. There was a dad sitting next to me. He was driving I picked my kids up in a golf cart, and he was driving a golf cart, and he had an Ironman shirt on, and so I'm like, "Oh, did you do an Ironman?" He goes, "No, I work for Ironman." I'm like, "Oh, it was right around the Gary." It was right before the British Columbia with Gary. That big issue up there. I was just talking to him about ultra running. He was surprised I knew what ultra running was, and so he had said he had worked with a lot of the acquisitions of other races. He had to work. I think UTMB bought. Did they buy Speedgoat from Carl Meltzer?
It sure might have.
He was talking about working with Carl, and he's like, "Oh, it took forever to get him to return emails and all kinds of stuff." So. He doesn't work for him anymore. He said,
Speedgoat by UTMB.
Yeah. He said some new bosses came in, and he wasn't a big fan of the new bosses. And so he left the Ironman Corporation. So, well, good deal. So, all right. Other things to talk about. So I brought Brian on the show tonight, and because Brian has a big endeavor this summer. He is running the Grand Slam of Ultras. So if you don't know what the Grand Slam of Ultras is, it's running 4 out of the 5 original 100-mile races. So you have Old Dominion, you got Western States, you got Vermont 100, Leadville 100, and the Wasatch Front 100. So those, you got to get into 4 out of 5 of those races. So one of the hardest things about it is getting into 4 out of the 5 races. Western States is nearly impossible. Old Dominion's pretty easy to get into. Vermont's kind of tough to get into because they have a lottery system. Leadville's tough to get into unless you're Brian and you're going after your 10th finish and they just let you in. And Wasatch isn't hard to get into. If you get into 3 of the other races, they automatically let you into Wasatch. So Brian got into Old Dominion, didn't get into Western States, didn't get into Vermont, but signed up through a charity through Vermont. Already in Leadville, and then you got in a lottery on Wasatch, right?
I did not. I got a contingent, so as long as I finished the first 3, then I could show up and still run Wasatch.
Yeah, so he's good. He's good there. And so I attempted this in 2022. Vermont at that time was they didn't run it for 2 years, and I got into the lottery in 2020. Got postponed because of COVID. 2 years. So when I got into Vermont, the 3rd year, I decided to run Old Dominion, which was easy to get into. Didn't get into Leadville, but Leadville, I did the charity through Leadville, which cost me a lot of money. That's where I met Brian, was out at Leadville. And then Wasatch, I did get into Wasatch. I got through the first 2. Leadville took me out. I dropped at the 100K mark, so I did not get it.
What's the gap between those races? How long?
So, depending on which 5 you do, which 4 out of the 5 you do, it could change a little bit. So I don't have a Western States. So they're about 4 weeks apart, except for the last one between Leadville and Wasatch. It's going to be 3 weeks, but it'll be 4 weeks between the first 3.
They're pretty quick. It's not like you get a 3 months break.
Yeah, a little stacked, yeah.
Now, if you do Old Dominion and Western States, I think it's only like 2 weeks. It's quick. I think Old Dominion is beginning of June, and Western States is the end of June, and then you turn around. If you do the 4 without Western States, they're spread out pretty good. Western States will kind of throw things off because it's close to Vermont too. I think it was 2 weeks because the year I did it, I went to Western States to pace, came home, and then went to Vermont like 2 weeks later. So
I remember when you did it.
Yeah. So for the Florida folks, we've only had one person in Florida ever complete the Grand Slam. Barbara Fry did it in 2001, and she actually she completed Wasatch 7 days after 9/11.
Oh.
So I would love to hear that story, like, because they grounded planes for 9/11. They were grounded for like 2-3 days. Like, what was her travel time out to Wasatch?
She must have drove it.
I don't know. I reached out to her in 2022, and she never got back to me because I wanted to hear that story. So, but she's the only one from Florida to ever do it. We've had a few attempts. Andy Matthews attempted it, and he got knocked out at Leadville too. So, so it's pretty impressive. Do you know how many are in the Slam this year? I couldn't find that information.
No, I don't. It's kind of a little obscure. It's not as clear cut as you would think. You do have to sign up if you're in 4 of the 5. You have to sign up for the Slam itself as well, like an extra $90 to get that Eagle trophy or the bald eagle trophy head to be a participant in that as well. And you have to finish at Wasatch as well. That has to be the last one because that's where the award is presented. So really, you have to do 3 of the other 4, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah.
You have to do Wasatch. Yeah.
Wasatch is a definite.
I think Arian's doing that one, and I might be out there with him. I know we're doing the Tahoe 200, but
are you
doing
Wasatch 200?
Yeah, of course.
I'll be out there for Tahoe 200.
I'm all about pacing for free. I get to see the courses.
Brian,
Pay
Brian,
for
you're
it.
not going out. No, you're not going out to Tahoe. You're going to Old Dominion. Yeah.
But he said
I
Wasatch, and
will-
I might. It just depends. I don't know if I'm. I don't know if he wants. If I'm going there or not. Where is
Yeah.
that? What state?
What's that?
Yeah, Park City,
Tahoe?
Utah.
It's in
No,
Utah.
Wasatch.
Oh, Wasatch is in
Yeah.
Wasatch
Sorry.
Mountains are just outside of Salt Lake.
Yeah, you
Okay,
start in
that's
Salt
Wasatch,
Lake
yeah.
City and run all the way to Park City.
Yeah, that's the
Beautiful.
one I want to go to.
Beautiful course.
Well,
It's absolutely. So here's a great comment. Don't tell Luke. Let's not tell Luke about this.
About
Luke, I
what?
want to do this. I want to do this for my 50th birthday. I want a second attempt at it. So I got 2 years to get out there and do it. So it's
Is
I
she
definitely
talking
want-
about the Grand Slam thing?
Yeah. So don't. So
Yeah, don't tell Luke. Let Luke recover. He's
Yeah,
running again.
yeah.
He looks good.
Yeah, Wasatch is great. You haven't done Wasatch yet, right, Brian?
No, actually, the only one this summer that I have done is Leadville. I haven't done
Okay.
the other three.
Yeah. Old Dominion's tough because it's a 28-hour cutoff.
It's fast.
It wasn't. I don't think it's so much fast, but it was like they don't give you a belt buckle unless you go under 24. It's an old school. So I
Oh,
finished
that's for real, huh? Yeah.
I finished in 25 and a half hours and I didn't get a belt buckle.
That would sting.
Yeah. I was sick during that race, and it all caught up to me right at like mile 70, and I just suffered through the night to get in, but got it done. Vermont isn't too bad. I think Vermont's 30-hour cutoff. It's pretty reasonable course. You're on, both of those are on a lot of back roads that you're running.
Mm-hmm.
Not too bad.
I think Old
Vermont's
Dominion
real
has a lot of
hilly, isn't
pavement,
it?
right?
What's that?
Brian,
it's got-
Vermont's really hilly.
It was hilly, yeah. You had a couple of decent climbs, but they weren't long. They weren't very, very long climbs.
Okay.
So it wasn't too bad. Brian, what were you saying?
Oh, I was asking. I thought I saw Old Dominion had a lot of road in it, like paved road.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it is.
backcountry paved road.
Yeah,
Asphalt.
and it kind of crosses back and forth across each other a couple of times. So you'll hit a section of the road and you're like, I think I hit this from a different direction earlier in the day. And no pacers. You have a pacer for a small section. That's the hardest part. It's about 1,000-foot climb up over a hill out of Elizabeth Furnace. But other than
Going
that,
solo, yeah. I'm going to go solo at Old Dominion. I might take my 14-year-old daughter, and we'll go up to the Poconos afterwards in Pennsylvania and visit some family. And then for Vermont, I might have I coach some athletes over on the East Coast, and I'm going to have some help and support from those guys on the East Coast that'll come out and help me out at Vermont. So pretty excited to get out of the western side of the country. I've raced all my races over here from Denver or west. I don't think I've been past Denver going east to race.
Oh, you need to come down to get some sand. Come on down to Florida.
Some sugar sand, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're trying to get him to
Katie
come
knows
to,
about that, too.
Oh yeah.
Keys.
The Keys is on my radar. I do want to get a Badwater. I'm a Badwater hopeful. I got some other little accolades to help me get into Badwater, but I need a Keys finish that'll really help me solidify it.
That's a warm one.
We're thinking about it next year. If I don't get in the States, Bri, come down for Keys.
All right, we'll see.
I want to do a relay team at the Keys. Go down there.
So that would be saying, so Brian, so for Vermont, Brian's doing the fundraiser. So this is the,
Oh, cool. Thanks.
you want to talk about this, Brian?
Yeah, so I'm raising money for Vermont Adaptive. Gosh, they help people get out and enjoy nature that might have some challenges. They're taking them kayaking, canoeing, mountain biking, hand pedal bikes. I don't know if you could scroll the screen down, but there's some other pictures in there. and it's a great cause. And actually, it's a little bit near and dear to my heart. I'm 51 years old. I'm pretty dang old, and my mom has been in the wheelchair since I was about 20, since I was in the service, and so she needs some assistance and some help. I remember when she moved to a different house, building some ramps and taking the stairs out for her, and and I go to, I don't go home that often, but when I do, and I go to public with her, I just notice that it's always a challenge for her to get the door to open for her, hit the button for the door to open up, and so Vermont Adaptive is kind of like in my wheelhouse of fundraising efforts to get people outside and enjoying the space. One of my favorite memories, my mom's still alive, but one of my favorite memories of my mom going on vacation was she went to Niagara Falls. She lives in the Pocono Mountains of Pennsylvania, and she went to Niagara Falls, and she had a great time. And she ranted and raved about the vacation and the trip and the views. But she said there was like just ramps and all sorts of parking for handicap and accessibility and restrooms and bathrooms, and counters were much lower so she could wash her hands properly, and just a really thought out process. And so, it means something. If you're not an able body, if you're not walking, if you're in a chair, it means something to have access to the things that we normally take for granted, right? So it's a great cause. I think it's a great program, and I'm happy to raise money for them to also get my charity bib to get in as well.
We put the link is in the show notes. If you go down there, there's other links in there. But the Vermont Adaptive, the fundraiser's in there. You can click on the link and go to it. So you can check that out and help Brian at Vermont.
I get it. Money's tight and you got lots of things to spend money on. But if you ever wanted to buy me a cup of coffee, this would be a great way to do it. Just $5 or $10 from a handful of you will go a long way. So much appreciated. Yep. Thanks for putting it up there, Jeff. Appreciate it.
Yep. Not a problem. Trying to think what else do we have on here. Brian, you were just out at Arizona Monster. You ran an aid station for 3-4 days.
Maybe 4 or 5 days. Yeah, there's my tent, there's my truck. Actually, there's my bed and my computer. I'm like literally working in that chair, and I lived in the back of my truck, and in that tent making food, flipping burgers. We opened up on Sunday at 5:30 or so, 5:30 afternoon, and my aid station closed on Thursday morning at 5 a.m. We got 5 runners out of there by 5:30 a.m. on Thursday, and then we had to pack it up, and I was driving back north in Arizona to Flagstaff by noon on Thursday. So it's 4.5 days. It's a 13-hour drive for me, so no quick trip by any means. But I stopped at Flagstaff, stopped in Moab both times, and went for some runs and had a great trip. There was some chatter about the aid stations having some issues and struggles, and there's always things that we could perfect. It was a first-time race. I spoke with the race directors and the management team and the owner, and kind of shared my thoughts. But otherwise, we got it done. We were there for the athletes. If you were a participant, I don't think you really saw at my aid station, mile 251, any real shortages of anything. We micromanaged the ice and the water to make sure that everybody had some, so we could hold on to it. It was 94 degrees during the day in the Sonoran Desert, and by the time you got to me at 250, you were 3, 4, 4.5, 5 days into your event. And so the water's pretty important. Ice was really important. Plenty of food. We had burgers for everybody, all the vegan options you could ever imagine, all the breakfast burritos you ever wanted, and a lot of bacon. A lot of bacon was consumed.
Bacon. That's what I feel on. I'm a bacon kind of guy.
So quick question. Do you think Aravaipa and destination races, do you think they get along, or you think there's some feuding between Arizona Monster coming in just right before Cocodona?
I don't think so. They both filled up. I mean, I don't think there'd be. I mean, Cocodona had. I think Simon was like 200th on the wait list. So I mean, they more than filled up. So it's not like either of their businesses were affected by it. Monster filled up and had a little bit of a wait list for their inaugural year. So it sounds like there's maybe not a need, but there's a desire for people to continue to push themselves and go farther. I don't, from my point of view, I don't think there's any beef or any rivalry.
What if on the like the volunteer side? Because I know we have some race directors that come down here to Florida, and they just can't get. We have one bringing a 200-miler to the state of Florida, and he can't get any volunteers just because we're not very happy with them. And so,
that's an interesting question. So we were short-staffed, and we had some shortages in volunteers that said they were going to show up, and then for whatever reason weren't able to make it work out. I had 9. I was the aid station captain. I had 9 on my email list, and only 3 of us showed up initially for the first 4 days. It was kind of ugly. By the last day, by Wednesday day, we started to see some relief, and some other folks were able to come in and help us out and kind of fill those gaps and give us the break that we needed. But we were full bore for, I don't know, 2.5 days. Like literally in 3 days, I got 3 hours of sleep. And that's, unfortunately, it's pretty common in the ultra running world as an aid station captain. I actually know this. I've run Moab aid stations before, Moab 240, every other year for 3 or 4 years now. And I usually get more sleep in the event as a participant than I do as the aid station captain. And that's a known fact to me. But to answer your question, to go back to the question about the volunteer side of it, we had 2 volunteers that showed up. I don't know if they're married, but there were a couple, a guy and gal, and they were super sweet. They came in and they knew what they were doing, and I was kind of suspect of them, even though I let them do their thing because I needed the break. But I was suspect of them, and I started to talk to them, and they work for Aravaipa for their events, and they just came over to help us out for they were able to come from 9 to 5
cool.
that Wednesday and just help us out for the 8-hour, like a work day. So, I mean, it just gave us the breather we needed. We were able to, rearrange camp and pick up the trash and get a little shut-eye for a little bit and just kind of, regroup ourselves. But they came in so swiftly, and they knew exactly what they were doing. I was like, where do you guys know how to do this from? And they came clean. They work for Aravaipa. They work for Aravaipa when they're not volunteering for Candace and Destination Trail. So, yeah.
That's good. So, I know. Even Cocodona needs so many volunteers on it, and so we reached out. I'll be on the live stream running with a running camera Thursday out of Tut Hill. But they were like, hey, any other slots you can fill in, just let us know. We'll just give you a camera. So I'm looking at some other slots for the race out there. So we're kind of looking forward.
I've worked Aravaipa races as well, so I'm not, I've done across the years volunteering. I did, what is the one you just mentioned a little bit ago? Javelina. I did Javelina 100 as a webcam guy as well. And,
you did that last year.
Yeah. I volunteered a few times for those guys as well. So, I don't think there's any animosity. I think, we're a volunteering community, and we're just trying to support runners and get them there. And that was really the bottom line at Monsters. Like, as much as it sucked and we were a little skinny on help, these runners weren't really expecting that. They expected us to be there for them, so we tried to perform as best as we could.
Cool. All right, wrap up with a couple housekeeping things. Miles with Marty, he put out a podcast this week with James Ebert. It's a great podcast. James was second at long haul. He won Southern States the last 2 years. Has obviously the top 2 times out there. So head over to Miles with Marty. Listen to the podcast. Really good podcast. One last thing. We're thinking of doing a challenge. Katie, do you ever run from your house to Dunkin' Donuts and get coffee?
Oh yeah, sure.
Like not in the car, but run?
Yeah. Either Dunkin', Wawa, any of those places, sure. Yeah.
So we have the group of guys I run with, we call it a runkin. So not a Dunkin', like a runkin. And so from my house, we can hit a Dunkin' in 8 miles, 17 miles, or 21 miles in round trip. So we call it the runkin. We'll do that. We'll run out there, grab coffee, 2 donuts, and run back. So what we're thinking of doing is next 2 months a Runkin challenge. So a couple of different things we're looking at, like who can do the farthest Runkin, like how far out to a Runkin, and a Dunkin' Donuts, grab coffee and a donut and come back. Bobby Joe said she can hit one in 3 miles, or who can do the most, and we'll keep track of the mileage of what you're doing. So we're looking at 2 or 3 different competitions in there. We'll probably do some gift cards to Ultra Sign Up. We'll think of some fun stuff and post your stuff up. So start thinking about that. If you have a Dunkin' Donuts, if you don't have a Dunkin' Donuts near you, but you have another coffee shop or something along that lines, of Wawa's or something, let us know. We'll see what we can get on people doing the Runkin. It's a fun run. We love me and my other buddy who weren't in marathon training. They were all doing like workouts. We're like, let's go do a Runkin. And so luckily we got 3 different ones depending on how far we want them to go. So it's a lot of fun. So start thinking about that over the next week or so. We'll announce the plans for it, and then I think we're going to do it for May and June. The Runkin challenge. Hashtag.
How about a Run Bucks? Run Bucks.
Is that what you have? What is this?
Starbucks.
Oh, Starbucks. Run Bucks. So, or yes, or or if you're up in Canada, what do they have up in Canada?
Tim Hortons.
Was it
Tim Hortons?
Tim Hortons.
Yeah.
So,
I got a question.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about that New York 100? Did you go? You didn't go up there, did you?
The great state one, or is that the one around New York City?
Yeah.
I don't. I'm interested in it, but I don't.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. That thing's intriguing to me, and I don't even like cities. But if I was to do an urban one, I want to do it right.
I know someone who ran it. She loved it. She absolutely loved it.
I know.
It's not invite only. It's not invite only.
I don't know. That's kind of why I was asking if anybody knew. I think it's tough to get in. I don't know. I mean, I haven't really looked into it.
I think Lucian did it, or Andy Matthews did it.
Mark Kudak did it, or he was up there, and I think Amy did it last year. Amy, Banana Champ. I think she was up there.
I'm trying to think of her last name.
Yeah.
So,
what are you doing next, Katie?
My next race or my next one?
Race.
Oh gosh, I think next I have coming up. I don't even remember. I was thinking of doing the Elgato 12-hour coming up, but and Miami 50-50. But I think the next one I'm actually signed up for is Trident, and then I'm doing H9 in August.
Okay, so you got a break. Good for you.
Well, I got to fill it in. So.
No, just take a break. You'll be much stronger. It's good
I
to
try.
recover.
It doesn't work.
Just find a group run. You don't have to race every weekend.
Are you doing any of the original SummerSlam races? PTC.
Me or her?
Beer. What's that?
Me or Katie or both of us?
Oh, I mean both of you. Yeah.
I was looking at them last night. I looked up Baldwin, but it's on my daughter's birthday.
Yeah.
And then
I'm signed up for PTC.
Me and PTC have a relationship.
You got a relationship. So first time I ever met Scott, we're at Packet Pickups for PTC, and he comes up to me. Never met him before. He's like, "Hey, you Jeff Iosa?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "My coach told me to hang with you for the whole race." I'm like, "Who's your coach?" He's like, "Chris Stengel." I said, "All right, good luck."
And then I hung with Patrick Gallagher for 20 miles and then bonked.
Yeah. I think that was my best year. I think I ran.
Yeah, you did good. 6 something.
I think that's the 5th fastest time on the course. So.
You've done it before, Katie, or is this your first time?
What, PTC?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it would be my first time doing it.
It's warm. It gets warm.
Yeah. We're
You're all warm.
we're looking forward to it. So I think I convinced Joe Miller to park his camper in my front yard. He's gonna come down. I think we're gonna do a pacer.
That thing's like 90 foot long.
It's okay. We'll get it in here. I think we're gonna do a pre-race dinner, pacer travel pre-race dinner at the house on Friday night. We got a lot of. We're looking at the full live stream for that race because you got some. It's gonna be. I think it's going to be, if all the runners stay in there, I think it's going to be probably the most competitive Florida race with, you got Mark Burgett, you got last year's winner coming back. I mean, we got some, it's a stacked field of Florida.
Yeah, well, if Mark's in it, I know where my money's at.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That dude's next level.
And by the way,
when is that?
It's the last weekend in September. So it's, I think the last day of August. So he is looking for crew. So Mark.
I think I would, but Arian and I are going somewhere in New York to do a backyard ultra. We're gonna go up there, run 200 miles, and then jump on a plane. We're gonna have plane tickets like 2 hours after 200 miles worth, and we both said we're gonna make it 200 miles no matter what.
August 30th is PTC, and then we're working out the Dirty Bear stuff. So we ran into some problems down in St. Pete. So
there's no date for that yet.
We do have a date. I got it right in front of me. August 2nd. We just need a location, and we're working on some people. The park we have it on is under construction, so they won't grant us permits down there. So, Brian, these are 3 free races that we do. So we got a 50K, 6 hour, and in the Pinellas Trail, which is 6 miles.
Nice. It was funny. Go ahead.
No, what were you saying, Scott?
I was gonna say it was funny. Last year I run all 3 and I did well at Lake Baldwin, and then at 30 Beer Run I didn't do great, but I still got like 30 miles, and which one's last? PTC, yeah.
PTC.
And David Whiteside, the whole time I had dropped at 20. I got to 26. I'm like, I'm done. I started throwing up.
This was 2 years ago.
Was it 2 years ago? And I remember David saying he was chasing me. He was looking for me. He couldn't find me, and to turn around, and I had dropped, and he didn't even know it because I guess I was leading that series, and he was trying to get me. He ended up getting it.
Yeah, you screwed up the whole thing.
How did I screw it up?
Because you were right in the running for it. And did you drop at PTC?
Yeah, I stopped at Marathon. Started getting hot and overheating.
The problem, the marathon is at the finish line, and then you got to go 10 miles out and 10 miles back.
No, the problem was I ate carbs.
Yeah.
Started puking. That was my problem. But yes, that 26 mile finish, and especially if your car is parked there, it's real easy to go home.
Yeah.
Don't park at the finish. Park at the start. That way you have to get back.
Mile 25 is I can see my house from mile 25, so that's the hardest. Yeah. That's the hardest mile for me.
We used to have a race here. We used to have a race here in Western Colorado, a 50 miler, and it was a 25-mile loop clockwise, and then you'd go back out and do it counterclockwise. And they had 25-mile entries and 50-mile entries. I always signed up for the 50-mile, I think 5 years in a row. But they had a band and a beer tent and all these things when you came in. Only once did I ever go back out and complete the 50-miler. Every time I took my 25-mile award and went straight to the beer tent.
Time to party, right? I had enough. Hey, it's all about fun.
Yeah.
I was enjoying my community. I was enjoying my community.
We try that with Tampa Bay 100. We want to make the aid station awesome at 50 miles, but not awesome enough that you won't go back out to finish the second half. But cool deal. So I think that wraps everything up. So appreciate you guys filling in this week for Marty and Bobby Joe. And
for sure.
Thanks for having us.
Great stuff.
I need a
look
nap.
forward to see you guys. In the next couple of races. Scotty, I'll see you Saturday, right?
It's the weekend I'm supposed to not do anything with running, but
Yeah.
I'll,
Yeah.
you'll probably see me I'll show up there about 2 in the morning when all the family goes to sleep. But it's a 3-hour damn drive. That's what's killing me. One way. I'm so far away.
Well, it's even farther for me now. Now that I have the electric car, I got to stop and charge up halfway up.
Oh, what? Do you really?
Yeah, I think I can make it up. So we'll see. We'll see.
So
well, I want to charge it up in case I want to sleep in the car. I got to run the AC.
if I do show up, I'm gonna try to work it to where I'll finish with those guys. But I'm sure Joe needs help somewhere too.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
especially in the middle of the night. I mean, I'm the kind of guy who just shows up in the middle of the night and I find out where help is needed.
Yeah. Well, you got my
Because
number.
I didn't have plans. I didn't plan the pacer, which is weird. I usually pace every race, but we're going out of town. Olivia's racing next week in Virginia, so
That'll be a fun race.
I'm just pacing her. Yeah,
So cool.
that'd be fun. She
All
gets
right.
to do her first one.
We'll shut down the live stream. You guys can hang on a second.
Nice to meet you guys. Thanks for having me.
You too, Brian.
You too.